Hi everyone, welcome to my video, Suk Kim's Scholarship and Journey. And my topic for today is faith in the New Testament. What is faith in the New Testament? Okay, what can we talk about it? That is my topic for today. And we'll see what's there. Let me share with you my PowerPoint screen, just a second. Faith and New Testament. So first of all, we have to think about the word faith in the New Testament. So Greek word is pistis, and Latin word is fides. Both pistis and fides connotes one dominant image of the meaning which has to do with loyalty, trust, or relational commitment. It is really designating kind of trusting relationships with loyalty or faithfulness and trust. So that's the main stock image of a pistis or fides. In the Hebrew Bible, we have a Hebrew word emuna also has a similar meaning or concept, which is trust, loyalty, or faithfulness. So this is what we think about faith when Greek word pistis is used in the New Testament, right? So the primary meaning has to do with trust or loyalty or relational commitment or faithfulness. So faith in the New Testament, so we can see three kinds of faithfulness in the New Testament. First of all, more than anything else, God's faithfulness. This is really a big thing. God's faithfulness. God is love, obviously, in the Old Testament, right? So God is justice. God is an impartial love. God sent Jesus, according to New Testament witnesses. So God extended the Abrahamic covenant to the Gentiles. So in all of this, we see from the witnesses of the New Testament, God is the one who is faithful. So we can think about God's own faithfulness. So that's really a bedrock, a foundation of faithfulness. And also we see Jesus' faithfulness. Jesus is the one who is faithful to God and humanity. Jesus obeyed God's will until he died. Why? To demonstrate God's love and God's righteousness. To reveal who God is, God's love and righteousness. So he risked his life. So willing to die to demonstrate God's righteousness. Because the world is evil, right? In the hostile place. The world did not, just watch Jesus' dangerous message and deeds. So Jesus, because he demonstrated God's righteousness and love and justice, not Rome's justice, not Rome's, favoritism. So he was put to death because of that. So in all of this, the Gospels and Paul's letters affirm or confirm that Jesus was faithful to God and humanity. We also see from the New Testament the faithfulness of the followers of Jesus, right? The faithfulness of those who follow Jesus, Christian faithfulness. So first of all, briefly, when we talk about God's faithfulness, as I said earlier, we can see God's love and justice, which do not change over time, whether in the Old Testament times and New Testament times, even today. So when we think about, God who is faithful, certainly we can think God does not change over time. And also we believe God of the covenant with Abraham, God extends his love to all people, to the Gentiles through Jesus or through faith, right? So that's also we say because of this covenantal love, extension of love, right? So God's faithfulness. Lastly, according to John 3:16, right? It's a very famous one. Many people just recite by memory. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Why? So that people may be saved, right? People may be saved through Jesus. God did not send Jesus to condemn the world or people. God so loved the world because he wanted to save the world and people. So here we see also God's faithfulness. Obviously, New Testament confirms the faith of Jesus. Jesus was the one who was really faithful to God and humanity. Faithful to God and humanity. That's the key. Okay, Jesus showed his faithfulness to God while he was demonstrating God's righteousness, love, and justice, right? So he was hated by the world and the people because he revealed God's love, God's impartial love and justice. So Jesus was also faithful to humanity because all he did was because of his love of people, right? He loved them until he died. Also, we should not forget the faithfulness of the followers of Jesus. When you read the Gospels in particular, there is a strong image that Christians have to follow the footsteps of Jesus. Jesus here is the model, right? So disciples and all people after him have to walk with him, following the footsteps of him. So following, that is the great image that we see from the followers of Jesus in the Gospels. In terms of Paul's letters, we have a similar image, okay, notion that participating in Jesus' faithfulness, participating in Christ, especially Romans and Galatians and the Corinthian correspondence, we see the importance of participating in Christ's faith. We also see other aspects of faith in the New Testament, right? So for example, Book of Hebrews, we have a different image of faith. Faith is here is a conviction, assurance about the future. No matter what happens in the future, right? Believers have to have a conviction, the assurance that God will be with them and protect them, kind of a conviction. Yes, that's also part of the faith. Also, when you read Deuteropauline letters and pastoral letters in particular, there we see faith is understood as knowledge or teaching, right? Faith means something you confess, knowledge. Yes, that's part of the knowledge. Part of faith. Okay, faith is knowledge. But as we saw in Paul's letters, authentic letters and the Gospels, the primary stock image of faith is not knowledge. But nevertheless, here in Deuteropauline and pastoral letters, faith is understood as knowledge or teaching. And Book of James, faith is understood as works. Faith means works. In other words, no one can separate the faith from works, right? Faith means works. Without works, no one can say that I have faith. Okay? So there is another image of faith. So, in my publication, the book title, Preaching the New Testament Again, the subtitle of Faith, Freedom, and Transformation, I briefly talk about, the different aspects of faith in the New Testament. So let me read the description here. This book combines critical New Testament scholarship with homiletic concerns. Kim unravels complexities of the most prominent themes in the New Testament, such as faith, freedom, and transformation, and brings them into dialogue with a modern preaching context, ranging from personal identity to social justice to global issues. This book invites readers to reinterpret the most familiar themes that have not been thoroughly explored in scholarship, and to make an informed choice about what to preach to whom in what context. So this is the end of my video. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Maybe you may continue to study deeply about faith in the New Testament.